Rosie O'Donnell has moved to Ireland after Trump election. It has been heartbreaking.
She would have
They've begun, the far left has begun to self-deport.
Good riddance.
That's it.
That's what I say to her. Good
Rosie
riddance.
O'Donnell has confirmed she's moved from the U.S. to Ireland. Didn't, who else moved? Did Ellen?
I thought Rosie wasn't MAGA.
She's not.
If she moves, she is.
Wait, what?
If she left America, she's making it better than when she was here.
There you go.
I thought you were all whacked out over there for a minute. But
Yeah, well, the funny thing is, these people have been saying for decades, if the Republicans win, I'm leaving.
But they never
finally,
do it.
They finally did.
Yeah, I do give them credit. Didn't George Clooney, wasn't he one of them? A couple of them. I do give them credit that they're finally putting their money where their mouth is, and they're finally leaving. You know, these celebrities that say, oh, if such and such wins, I'm out of here. Well, that's, Miami's got a better place now because she's gone.
That is what's funny about X. All of these progressives who are on the platform complaining about Elon 24/7 while paying him. It's like he has money because of you.
Right, right.
But no one ever accused these people of being smart, so.
I like the fact that they're finally following through.
Yeah, I like that.
I've been saying it forever and ever. And it's something that you
Ellen
see.
come back?
What?
Ellen come back?
Did Ellen come back?
I think I want to say that she did. But look,
I think she left because she was so mean to her people.
The fact of the matter is, the left is notorious for this. When there are election results that they don't like, they believe that America failed them. They don't love America. They only love America when the politicians that they choose or they like are in power. And then when they're not, they start talking, we need to leave, we need to get out of here. Or they start talking about things like, oh, we need to not listen to the politicians, the politician we don't like, or we need to impeach them, we need to take them out of power. They only care about the United States when they win and when they're getting their way. So
Ellen
if you
didn't
don't like it,
come back.
Get out.
She didn't come back?
She did not come back. In fact, this is from 3 hours ago. Ellen DeGeneres lists California property, reportedly her last remaining U.S. home, for $5 million.
About that.
Good riddance.
And that's nothing in California. $5 million, that must be a shack.
Yeah, I mean, unless it's, I don't know how the real estate prices got affected by the interest rates and the wildfire.
Yeah, true.
So, I mean,
She also made a lot of money on real estate.
Oh, did she?
Yeah. I mean, I think the house that she sold was like, what, 85 million, 35 million, something like that?
She sold and flipped mansions, California mansions,
Right.
basically.
But I think the one that she sold, her final one, was like 35 million.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
You have to wonder how many of these celebrities that are fleeing are associates of, say, Diddy?
Yeah, I wonder if they are
that's a whole
giving
nother
up their
can.
citizenship too. Like, are they renouncing their citizenship?
I don't
and giving
think
that
so.
up, or are they
I mean, I don't think so.
taking that out?
I think you're just moving to throw a fit, and you'll be back in 4 years if potentially the outcome's different in your liking. But
I don't know they'll come back. I mean, with these prominent liberals leaving at a time when Democrats are in desperate need of leadership, they're basically saying the ship has sunk and we're done. How do they possibly recover from that? I'm not saying like Rosie O'Donnell is going to lead the Democratic Party, but she still is a loud voice for Democrat politicians. They're losing Hollywood celebrities, and they have no leader. I tell you, one of the craziest things I heard, I mentioned this last week, Cassie Hunt, I think it was on CNN, asked Tim Waltz, who is the leader of the Democratic Party right now? And he said, the American voter. And she made this like face like, what?
Yeah, that doesn't mean anything.
The reality is, there is no leader of the Democratic Party, which is kind of crazy if you think about it.
Yeah, it's not whoever they just elected as DNC chair, whose name I officially have forgotten.
No idea. David Hogg?
David Hogg is
No,
more
he's
famous
the
than
vice-
whoever the
I know.
The guy from the
vice
Parkland
chair,
shooter, that guy.
He's more famous than the active DNC chair.
And
Wasn't
he
Stephen A.
not even
Smith
at
too?
school that day? Stephen A. Smith has been making a little noise.
Yeah.
But-
Listen, I had you guys familiar with John Morgan, the attorney from Florida, For the People. He's got the largest personal injury firm in all of the world, and he's one of the largest Democratic donors. When Clinton used to come to Orlando, he would stay at his house. Wow. When Obama came to Orlando, he stayed at John Morgan's house. He was, was a huge Democratic donor, and he was on my show just after they announced Kamala was going to take over for Biden. And now this is a guy. I mean, this guy is. I've been in his office before when he has called Bill Clinton. I mean, this guy's a bigwig in the Democratic Party, and he is officially registered independent right now.
Wow.
And his exact words were, "Nobody asked us if this would be our candidate. We wanted it. We wanted a protocol or some type of different thing to happen instead of this shove down that we got in Kamala. The Democratic Party has left me. I didn't leave the Democratic Party." One of their largest donors, John Morgan, look him up.
So this actually speaks to something we were talking about earlier. The donors are not going to give money to the far left. If it is actually the party of the anti-capitalists, the anarchists, the extreme progressives, the donors aren't going to give them money because they're not going to be responsible with their money, and they're also going to they're going to try to pass legislation that would actually expropriate the property of the donors.
Right.
So they're not going to get those people.
But when you're losing guys like John Morgan and you're losing guys like that are now registering as independents,
Yeah.
I mean, you're in trouble. You're
Yeah.
in big trouble.
It's true. And as long as the Democrats are fighting this fight, it's better for conservatives, for the Republicans, because it leaves people that are in positions of authority to actually institute policy that will benefit the American people. And now, granted, there's a lot of hemming and hawing right now, and there's going to be some people that are going to be hurt because they're going to be doing massive cuts to the government, and there are a lot of people that get their job from the government, and so that's going to take some time to work out. But once that stuff gets worked out and you actually transfer the power from the bureaucracy to the private sector, you're going to see a better result for the American people. You're going to have the ability to start businesses and actually invest in yourself without the government having as much influence and having the government be as involved. And I think that that's what the American people want now.
Again, Stephen A. Smith was, like you said, he was creating some noise.
Going after James Carville.
And going after Carville and was actually trending, where people were listening to what he was saying. He went on The View and set a couple of those girls straight. That's Steve. I like Stephen A. Smith. I like his sports stance and stuff. I don't know if he's necessarily should be the leader of the Democratic Party. I don't know. Maybe that's what they need. Maybe that's exactly what they need.
They do need a loudmouth for sure.
I mean, he's as good as anything they've propped up so far.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you that.
But it's going to take more than a few years to recover that.
Oh, yeah.
Unless they get lucky. Watching these celebrities spiral out of control, it's just like they're not going to have the mechanism to prop somebody up. The View.
The View is terrible.
Oh, it's horrible.
Libby Goldberg is all like, I don't know what the problem is having.
And she's the worst.
Men and women's sports.
I got an idea.
Totally fine to me.
I was watching that. Whoopi Goldberg, she's on The View, and she's like, I don't even understand what the big deal is. I got it. I volunteer as tribute. Here's what we'll do. I will compete I'm volunteering to compete against a female of the same height, the same weight, the same age as me. Let's get it identical. Let's say March 9th, 1986, female. And you know what? Screw it. Let's find a quarter Korean, white, same everything. And we will compete without any training in a series of physical tests, concluding with a boxing match. And then we'll put it on The View, and we'll see how that turns out.
Make it like a decathlon,
Right.
just 10 different events, running event,
And no training, no training camp. Literally just shut the day up.
It's like if skateboarding, obviously you'd have an advantage. That's what you've done. But make it just 10 events that you've not trained in, 10 events that she's not specialized in, and let's see how it works.
Let's go. We'll see what happens.
Right.
I think everybody knows what's going to happen. Sorry, ladies.
Hope you win in boxing at least.
Yeah, that's the thing, because Joe Rogan has that famous video from 13 years ago. And he was just like, there's no question. A male, no matter what hormones they're on, is going to have more striking power. And these females who fought a trans woman without knowing said, one of the quotes is, I've never felt so much power before.
Right.
They've never been punched full force by a man. One woman had her skull cracked.
There was this this tweet thread that I read by the Helen Pluckrose. She was an associate of Peter
James
Boghossian
Lindsay.
and James
Yeah,
Lindsay.
She did the critical theories thing with him.
She wrote that book with him. But it was just yesterday, and she was talking about how most women don't understand how significant the strength difference between men and women are. Because when men interact with women that they're actually not fighting with, when you're play fighting, men are moderating their strength. Every time I've play fought with my girlfriend or with any girl in the past, like, you don't go all
pull
out
up.
because
do you
you
wanna
will
know what's-
break
yeah,
them.
you'll really
like
hurt them.
women and
Especially you, and you're
women
jacked
don't
up.
realize that. And that she made a really long post about it. She was like, "Look, most women have never had a man restrain them where he's serious, right? Like, because you know, if you're restraining your girlfriend or whatever, you're like, okay, come on. It's not like I want to stop her. It's like I'm trying. Okay, come on, honey. But you don't want to hurt her. If I grab my girlfriend and throw her, I'm going to injure her.
She'll be hurt. When during COVID, my son and I went down the shore, and there were no kids around. You know, there were no kids around in New York. You couldn't go out and play or anything like that. And I was like, oh, like, damn, my kid is whatever age he was, 10 years old. He needs somebody to play with him. I'm gonna have to play with him. You know, like roughhouse.
And he's
like
10,
roughhouse,
right?
you
Rough
know,
him up a
roughhouse
little
with him.
bit.
So we would like play wrestle in the dunes, because I figured if one of us goes down in the dunes, no one's going to get hurt.
Right, in
It'll
the
be
sand.
totally fine. It's sand. And by the end of the time we were there, I was picking him up and throwing him in the dunes, and he was having a great time. And you know, it was fine for a couple of months, and then at a certain point, I was like, we're done. And I was like, you're hurting me. We can't do
only that,
this
but
anymore.
probably
And
it-
I showed him our hands, and his hands were bigger than mine. His wrists are way bigger than mine. His arm is like, you know, like the size
That's
of my
12 now.
calf. Well, now he's 15.
Right.
But like,
over.
we haven't been able to play fight in a couple of years now.
Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.